quick advice on like if you take a break, like getting back into it. 'Cause I feel like I suck so much right now. It's like
Yeah.
so rough. I just want to get back to where I was as quick as possible.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think don't stress out about it too much. I think probably grind out a bit more unranked and like friendlies than you usually would before jumping right back into like ranked and
Okay.
super serious tournament.
Yeah.
And I think also not trying to learn like too much new stuff and sort of going back to what you were sort of working on just before you stopped playing can be pretty good as
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
Um,
Makes sense.
yeah. You um, vanilla
I,
Falco.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm neutral.
Okay. I just remember you usually play port three, so
Yep.
yeah. Cool.
I think I do pretty good well the first stock. I just don't close it out, and then I just don't close out the stock
Yeah,
for
yeah.
ages. I almost get four stocked this game.
I mean, I like how you've been playing at this first stock so far. So I'm guessing there's just like a couple of things that change like as you go. You also rolled
Hmm.
through the grab, which was really good. I don't think you would have done that before. Right here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you would have held shield before, like last
Hmm.
time.
Yeah, he holds into the stock for ages, which is insane because he's at like 148.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. I think like this was pretty big actually. So like you jump off with Shannon, it doesn't feel like that big of a commitment because it's like, oh, I'm not
Hmm.
aerialing off at least. But then look at the situation you end up in after you shine, right? You're having to like
Yeah,
double jump. So
and
unless
no
you
jump there.
so unless you like double jump and then like wave land to the platform or something,
Hmm.
this puts you in like a really rough spot, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't really do much here, honestly. Um,
Okay.
so I think just being more aware of like some of the risks you're taking in neutral. It's like
Mhm.
it might not get you immediately punished, but then like the situation after is so bad, like this one, that
Yeah.
you may as well have done right.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then I think on this one you just got a bit stuck. So you bear here, probably expecting to get hit by laser,
Hmm.
and then I think you wait like extra long. But it's sort of like once you've missed that first opportunity to move, you can't like then go. You know,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
you're now forced to like actually just play a mix up here, like on shield probably.
Hmm.
Um, hold shield, wait for the shine, and then do something maybe.
Yeah.
Um, ooh. Yeah, he's just punishing really solidly so far off of his hits, and then you're just not getting the mileage off of yours. I feel like.
Hmm.
Um,
I think I have a really hard time as well, like in all matchups. Like once I drop a punish, but they're at sort of like over 100%, finding the strong opening to like send them off stage instead of
mm,
edge guard. I feel like I had that problem a lot. I don't know how to. I feel like I'm just stood there like bearing in place, praying.
yeah, But I mean, it's sort of like, I feel like if you're doing it well, then it's still threatening to them. It's when you're just like on the other side of the stage trying to do it
Yeah.
that
Okay.
it's just like very obvious to them that like
Mhm.
as long as they don't run into this one move, they're not gonna like die, you know. But I think a lot
Okay.
of these also have just been like, you know, maybe you hit a weak back air instead of a strong back air, and then it doesn't kill, and then
Yeah,
sort of goes wrong from there.
that's true.
Um, and this one, I think you got just a little bit stuck again. So run off laser, and then I think your decision after you landed wasn't too great.
Yeah. There's no reason for me to dash into the corner there.
Yeah, and it's also like this one. I mean, if you're aware enough, then you could probably tell that this is going to go over you, right?
Mhm.
Um, it's pretty uncommon, I feel like, for people to shoot a low enough laser here that catches you on the ground under this.
Mhm.
Because they want to try and shoot high to catch you falling down, you
Yeah.
know. So then, if if you'd have just waited, obviously the laser goes
Yeah.
past you. But even if you weren't going to do that, I think if you're going to dash back, do like dash back shield or something, right? But I think
Mhm.
you tried to dash back and get laser out,
Yeah.
which then leads into you getting hit by the second one.
Mhm.
Um, and you get the thing where you jump into the laser, so you go through the laser and you go through your landing lag. So
Yep.
then it puts you in an even worse spot, right? Um, and yeah, it's just, I think there's just been a lot of these sorts of situations where like sort of I guess like a stray laser will hit you maybe,
Mhm.
and maybe you're just like not fully aware of um, how you need to play off of that.
Okay.
And then he just immediately approaching lasers like pretty much every time off of these, right? He did it on that other one
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
So you just need to be more willing to either like contest that option by
Yeah.
take laser turnaround up tilt, dash jump shine,
Yeah.
running shine, um, or just be more willing to or more ready to play the defense on the approaching laser. So like dash back shield,
Mhm.
jumping out of the way. Um,
Okay.
because like it feels kind of bad, but if they're willing to do that laser, then like as soon as this happens, like you can't really play the laser game anymore. If they're willing
Yeah.
to approaching laser, you have to sort of play their weird like I'm gonna either full approaching laser or like do nothing sort of game, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, it's only once you get them to like respect that that then you can start doing more of the like lasers on the ground, that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I'd say like that's the main thing honestly so far that
Okay.
I've seen. Yeah, approaching laser, and you see you jump out this time and everything's fine, right?
Mhm.
Um, yep, here. So like he doesn't go for the hit here, but imagine if he did like approaching laser here, right? Not approaching
Yeah.
laser, sorry, on the next one.
Mhm.
Where is it? Off of this one, right? I
Yeah.
think you would have probably tried to jump and then got clipped by the laser and then put in a really bad spot, right?
Yeah.
So,
So dash JC shine is something that I should be. I didn't really like turn on take laser
turn
turn on
around
up tilt. I
tilt.
don't know why, but
Yeah,
I could.
I think
I can do it.
I think the key thing that'll help you with this is you want to always like when you do shoot a laser, you always want to check what they did, right? So
Mhm.
like if they shot a laser as well, it's more than likely going to trade with you here, right?
Yeah.
Or like hit you before it comes out. You know, there's
Mhm.
maybe a chance yours came out first. Um, but I think if I was playing versus someone that plays like quite aggressively in this spot, I would sort of err on
Mhm.
the side of caution and try and
Yeah.
like jump out of the way, right, or shield or
Okay.
something, dash
Mhm.
back. Hmm. Yeah, this one is kind of an awkward range to up tilt actually, so I don't blame you. But yeah, I think dashing back's probably like safest thing there.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, and then funnily enough, when you try to approaching laser, he's really ready, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess
Yeah.
he's really good at that mini game.
Yeah, yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
I'll look through the rest of it really quick just to.
Yeah. I don't know why I can't put Yoshi's. I always destroy him on FD. I don't know why I went. I like lose on this game, and then like I kind of mess him up on FD the next
Yeah.
game. I was like, why did I take him to Yoshi's?
Yeah, I think the easiest thing, honestly, to do, and it's pretty funny because I feel like you're really willing to do this versus me, but like just running forward, right?
Oh
In
yeah,
this situation, yeah, if you just do this, like
yeah.
you just get a shine out over here and then you kill him, right?
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, even if you do it like once or twice, like the reward on it's so high.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like a lot of the time he's not really he's just sort of going for it, you know. Like
Mhm.
here, for example, like you end up on the platform, he's retreating laser, and then he's still trying to approaching laser, even though you're like not even on the ground, you know.
Yeah.
So if you can sort of abuse that as well, like punishing the approaching lasers in the spots where it's like not that great. Like here, this
Mhm.
could be like run off bear, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the hard part about playing people like that is that they're always very ready to like convert off of their hits. I feel like
Mm. Okay.
because they're not sort of like I don't feel like they're reacting to the situation as like critically as you're trying to.
Mhm.
But then that also means there's like less hesitation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, I think it's just the stream being a bit weird.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably it.
yeah. Then there's another one.
That's yeah.
Yeah, but like you need to be ready to double jump to waveland to the platform, right? On this one,
Mhm.
or else yeah. Otherwise, you just get Ned in the face or whatever happened, dead in the face.
Yeah.
Because like that shouldn't be an opening for him. Like there should at least be a mix up there, you know.
Mhm.
Because if he does this, you double jump waveland, and then you're on the platform above him. He's in the corner at 50. You know, that's
Yeah.
not great for him, right?
Mhm.
Um,
I got so lucky. I should have got. I remember thinking I should have got reversaled.
yeah, yeah.
Way
Yeah,
too far away.
yeah, and I mean with this one, so this is what I was sort of meaning is like I think this would have worked fine if he approached him laser, but then it was the one time he didn't, right? But
Okay.
the situation was a bit different because you won the laser situation, right?
Mhm.
So like he's not thinking anymore about I want to approaching laser and sort of press my advantage. They're thinking like I want to try and defend myself, right?
Yeah. I feel like I'm one of the only Falcos that tries to STI the lasers. I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
up thrown so much, and it always feels good to get nothing
yeah,
off of
yeah.
it.
No, it's good. Yeah. So I think what actually is happening on Dreamland is that like in this game so far, you've been a lot more willing to just move forward off of his lasers and like contest that
Mhm.
space. Whereas I think on Dreamland, you're trying to use the space and back up more. But again,
Yeah.
if he's just approaching lasering you, that doesn't really do too much except for just corner yourself, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I think at least on this stage, like some percent of the time, you're probably going to like intercept him before his right.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's
Okay.
sort of the main difference there. And that's not to say like never use the space on Dreamland. Just don't let the stage pick sway your gameplay too much. I guess if it doesn't need to.
Yeah. The only other thing I'll say is that like also on Fountain, it felt
Yeah,
really uncomfortable, and
yeah.
I feel like I have to change my game plan a bit there because
Is there a fountain
I,
game?
yeah, it's this game 5. I think it's like it. I feel like I was really happy when it turned to FD for a little bit, but apart from that,
Yeah,
it felt like the entire game, like platforms are at really annoying heights.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, I felt like that situation was played a lot, where I was on this weird platform height on the left,
Yeah,
and then like he was like it had like the ground, and I just like hated being there. Felt so uncomfortable.
yeah. I mean, one thing here is that like his maximum laser height goes here, right? Probably.
Yeah.
So if you're jumping a lot and trying to laser, or just jumping a lot in general, it's actually kind of hard for him to hit you.
Okay.
So especially if you're like putting out down air and stuff like that in this sort
Mhm.
of range. You also have just moving out of the way here, right? Like just dashing backwards. Because look
Yeah.
what he does here. He's just gonna jump in like this.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, if you just stayed on the platform and like jumped in place, right? That's a very easy like down air through the platform, or
Okay.
like run off and then back air. Um, short hop off and then turn around laser. There's like quite a few things you could do there.
So I was trying to like low laser, like especially when he
Yeah,
was like a bit further away. Is that like something I should just like hold my ground, like not
yeah.
or
I feel like it just doesn't. I've never found it really goes that well when this
okay.
happens
Yeah.
because how do I explain it? It feels like the trade on their end is just way more favorable a lot of the time.
Mhm.
Um, and like they're also going to be getting laser out faster than you, right? Because they get to shoot high, which is quicker, whereas
Yeah.
you're shooting low. Um, so yeah, I would just try to not laser here. Just look more for like dash dancing, jumping in
Mhm.
place.
Okay.
You have shield drop. I
Yeah.
think that's the main thing about Fountain is you just need to be more comfortable picking non-laser options in a lot of spots.
Yeah.
Um, Because yeah, if you end up doing something like this, where you like you're on the platform, you feel uncomfortable, you instant double jump, it just feels really bad, right? Like
Mhm.
when something like this happens, and he's in the center, so he gets to laser normally, right?
Yeah.
But you can't laser normally over here, so it's
Mhm.
sort of like skewed in whoever's got this part of the map where they can sort of laser, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it can work quite well. So like how he did it here.
Mhm.
Um, where was it? I think it was just after this. So first of all, it's pretty difficult for you to laser him back here. You can
Yep.
do like if you do like a right like fast as possible laser, I think you land on the platform and still get it
Okay.
out. But if you do it any slower, I think you just end up like not shooting it at all.
Mhm.
So that makes this awkward. Mm. But yeah, remember here, like you could also um, you can crouch in the laser if you feel like your movement is good, right out of
Yeah.
crouch. You could just be dash dancing on the ground and it probably doesn't hit you because this is a pretty
Mhm.
low laser,
Yeah.
and it's very clearly going over you, right?
Mhm.
So you're only really concerned about the laser once he either like jumps off or runs off, right?
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, I think if you don't want to stay here, you probably want to try and be like here instead, which I know feels a bit risky because he has jump off aerial, right?
Yeah.
But when you're here, I don't feel like you have much you can do other than dashing on the ground, particularly.
Okay. Mhm.
Or you could try and go like up here maybe or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you try to get on the side platform, and then by the time you're doing this, you're just getting pelted with lasers, right? And now it's
Yeah.
really difficult. So I would just sort of stay where you are and like just sort of avoid them, I guess.
Okay. Makes sense.
Do you want to keep watching this game, or did you want to go on to?
No, I think that's
You think it's good?
fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So how well did you feel like you stuck to the game plan this this time around?
I think I did a bit better until like it got like there was a few times where like I was quite nervous
Yeah.
and I felt like I kept messing up like my approaches
Yeah.
and then getting down smash for it, and I was like, well, if only I had like not messed up my drift on that, and then I would have got, but you know.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was like edge guarding. I feel like it sort of all fell apart whenever like you was above ledge. But
Yeah.
I felt like I did a really good job when he was below ledge.
That's good.
But you can see me instantly like trying to like spam dash dancing and just praying that he'll approach. He just doesn't, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, let's see what happens. I guess. Oh, it's coming through my speaker.
I'm just praying that he'll like approach me on the ground.
But I think it's also here like you know, he eventually does do something, right? He jumps forward and floats at a horrible height, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, if this laser had have just been like in place instead, that's gonna clip him here, right? So I think you maybe like tricked yourself a little bit into you know, it's been 5 seconds, he hasn't just dash attacked into my face. I guess I gotta go in now.
Yeah.
You know,
pretty much.
And I mean, I think even if you did think that was the case, like you probably don't want to be approaching lasering from like across the screen, right? Like I think as a general rule, if you're dash dancing and then you don't see what you want to see, you don't want to then commit forward with something big, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he has all the time in the world to just put out a move over here and stuff. Right? Like this is where you probably want to back up, get a safe laser, and then start over, right? Which versus Peach, you don't have to go very far.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Fox, like, you can go a lot further, right? But yeah, I could very easily see, like, you know, you get down smashed for this laser, you get dash attacks, you get float ned.
Yep.
It's just not really worth it. And then you end up in a scrap.
Yeah, I'm really bad in scraps versus Peach. I feel like I'm so scared, and then I just start throwing out awful options.
Yeah, I think here, so you cross up, which is fine, and then you just want to have an idea of, like, what the general Peach things are that they do here. I'd say dash attack is one. I'd say dash away, down smash. So I feel like all of those are pretty good if you just hold shield here.
Yeah.
Or if you dash away. I think both of those are good.
Yeah.
But you try and like approach with a bear here, right?
Yeah.
Or at least try to just hit him, right? But it's like, you know, he's just with the flow cancel aerial, so it's not like he's in any sort of lag, really, right? So I think you got to think of it a bit less like, oh, he whiffed, I can hit him now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Is there not much? Like, I guess there isn't after a float cancel aerial.
I
know not a lot about Peach.
Okay.
Sorry.
There's 4 frames.
Okay. Okay.
It's as if she just landed on the ground normally.
Oh, okay, damn.
Yeah, it's really good. And when you combine that with, like, she has a lot of also very quick options after it, right? As well,
Mhm.
like jab, down smash.
Okay.
Yeah. So anytime something like this happens, it's not really like a. It's not like I don't know, like Falcon whiffed a knee or something. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty much like it's as if she just empty landed next to you.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, that's why it's not really a situation you can play like too. I mean, you can play aggressive in it, but it depends what they're gonna do, right?
Mhm.
Um, so this happens. He messes up. This is great. So you've got him in the corner now. I think a really big thing that's a really hard habit to break, but you've just come back. But even though you've just come from a really bad situation, you're in an amazing situation now, right?
Yeah.
Like instantly is switched sort of like who has the advantage here. And so you
Mhm.
need to play it as if it's an advantageous state, right? Whereas I think you
Yeah.
play it as if it's like not too good for you
Mhm.
because you try and like back up here, right?
Yeah.
But it's like backing up with the laser doesn't do too much. I don't feel like.
Mhm.
Um, you're so close that I feel like you want to just play your mix up of either like dash grabbing him, like short hop aerial, dash dance,
Yeah.
wait for something, those sorts of things.
Okay.
But by doing this, you let him jump.
Pretty good.
Yeah. But then if you're gonna do this and then he jumps into it, then you should definitely be trying to do something,
Yeah.
because you've had all
Mhm.
that time where you were dashing to check what happened.
Yeah.
Mm. Nice. Cool. Yeah, I mean that went pretty well, all things considered, right? Like even though you made a load of mistakes here,
Mhm.
you got one opening in the corner. It didn't go too horrendously. He just throws out down smash.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so this is also the sort of spot where like lasering is good, but it also can give up situations, right? Or like potential reward. So like here after this, I feel like a lot of Peaches will either dash attack or down smash, right?
Yeah.
So if you just dash away, then I feel like you can get pretty good reward on both of those, right? Whereas if you
Okay.
laser, it sort of just like resets the situation.
Yeah.
And I mean, it did lead to a kill, but I could very easily see him down smashing again after the laser, right? And then you get hit here.
Yeah.
Or dash attack or something. Nice. Yep. Okay, this is a classic. Classic
Yeah. I
Peach
definitely
Falcon
should have
situation.
held shield and rolled, I think, after like the laser misses. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So
Yeah.
I think there's a couple things here. So I feel like you can
Okay.
prevent this situation occurring in the first place by
Okay.
just jumping up here and
Mhm.
then turn around lasering, right? Because that
Okay.
puts lasers out. You can get one out here,
Yeah.
and that cuts off that jump flow that she wants to do, right?
Mhm.
So I'd say that's the main. That's sort of like the default. Like if I don't know what's happening and I just want to play it defensive, that's what I'm gonna do. Peach doesn't really have a good way to interact with it. The best thing she can do is probably just run all this way and get to like here,
Yeah.
and then play from there, which still isn't that great, you know.
Yeah.
But if you are gonna do a retreating laser, say maybe you thought she would stay on the ground, for example,
Mhm.
you need to be really ready for the fact that she could jump over it, right?
Yeah.
I think this is one that you could have maybe hit with a higher laser, but I'm not too sure.
Yeah. It looks like it could.
Yeah. Peach is a bit weird where like her hurt box isn't like where her dress is. It's sort of like
Okay.
here.
Oh. Okay.
So sometimes laser sort of goes under it.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I think knowing that if you see her jump, then that's when you need to immediately be ready to like dash away here or try and dash under her. full hop at her. You know, just something to get out of this situation, right? Because now if
You
you
think
end up,
fielding is not the play?
I don't think so. I mean, he shouldn't have fed that early, but you can imagine
Okay.
if he fed later and descended with it on your shield here, right?
Yeah.
Like that's really really bad for you.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you move to back here, then suddenly he can't hit you, right?
Mhm.
Or similarly, if you run under and he tries to aim over here,
Mhm.
then you get under, you have center, you know.
Okay.
Um, so you got to be really ready for like what the outcomes are after this laser,
Yeah.
if you are going to shoot it.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I do think it's fine if you think they'll stay on the ground.
Mhm.
But yeah, you just got to be ready for if they jump over it, right?
Yeah.
So sort of similar to like if Moth does like a full hop instead of a short hop in this situation, right? Or Fox, right?
Yeah.
Um, you got to be sort of like ready for that too.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Um, it's really hard to be ready for in the moment, but I think if you hit a rising down air at like a lowish percent, I usually just default to outplaying the down smash rather than trying to convert.
Okay.
Just because Shine's pretty unlikely to hit here, right? And you don't have
Yeah.
time to like grab or down tilt or anything. So I would just either shield or dash away.
Mhm.
And then you get to like either dash dance down air or wait, dash shine the down smash
Yeah.
against your shield. Because you know they're always mashing down smash there, right?
Mhm. That was such a panic.
Yeah.
My panic option is to side B from ledge, and then as
Yeah.
soon as I did it, I was like, no, I don't want to panic this time. But it's just so late.
Yeah, yeah. It's like you've already lost invincibility, so
Yeah.
um, unfortunate.
Definitely hate that back air as well. This is all like panic options, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think this one, you know, if you'd have just shot a laser here, right?
Mhm.
This is pretty good for you. You know, you could put out down air as well, and it's pretty unlikely she'll win here because
Yeah.
down air's covering this sort of space. You could also jump away if you want to. Jump over to here.
Mhm.
I don't at this percent. I don't think you want to jump off and down air particularly,
Yeah.
because she's so close to the ground, she'll land before you.
Oh, okay. I thought with Peach you could, because of the way she fell or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So it depends a lot on two factors. So
okay.
how close she is to the ground,
Mhm.
right? And the percent she's at. Because the higher the percent, the quicker she gets pushed into the ground, right?
I see.
So,
So at like 0,
mm,
it's like better in a
yeah,
weird
yeah. So
way.
if she was
Yeah.
at 0 up here, I'd say that's a lot more reasonable, right?
Okay.
But I think 20 from this low is sort of pushing it a bit as to whether it
Mhm.
will work or not.
Okay.
You can always nair though, and that pretty much always leads to a decent situation for you
Okay.
because you can shine or up tilt under her like descending nair after she gets
Mhm.
hit.
Okay.
So that can be good if you're not too sure.
Yeah.
Yep. So another one, right? So it's sort of like roll away is good,
Mhm.
and if you just check what he does during the roll, right? Free down air at 20.
Yeah.
Because we laser, then we lose. You know, we're not in a bad spot now, but like I would much prefer to be trying to punish a down smash, right?
Mhm.
Um, nice, nice. So this one, Peach actually has like a bit of a window where the umbrella's out, but the hitbox isn't there.
Okay.
It's around about now, where you can put out a down air and it's just gonna hit her, like from the
Okay.
platform.
Mhm.
If I get out, let me just count the frames real quick. I don't think it's fully like like 60 FPS, but
Mhm.
it's a decent estimate. Yeah, active frames 29. So if we go to the end, you can see how she still has the parasol up, but there's no
Yeah.
hitbox, right? And
Yeah.
she
Okay.
grabbed it around like 34 or something roughly. So
Mhm.
there's all this time here, where it's sort of like not covering her, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you trade, that's still amazing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you
Definitely.
can see that the hitbox is like changing in size as it goes.
Okay. Yeah.
And so being on the platform and then just dropping through it down air is a really like safe, easy way to sort of contest it.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
it's like pretty much zero risk as well, which is nice. But the down smash is good if you're already in position.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
I feel like she just. I feel like the full hop was potentially accidental
Yeah.
because I don't know why I would have full hop there and not just like short a bird.
Yeah, I mean, you can cover platform with short hop out here as well, so I don't think there's too much of a reason to do it.
Yeah.
But then again, I think with this one, again, just dash back and back air again, right? Like, you can't really...
Yeah.
Like, if he's going to run forward here, like, that's just the easiest way to hit him again, right?
Mhm.
Because you actually get clipped by this, and now this isn't amazing for you.
Yeah.
I mean, luckily it doesn't knock you over, so you could punish this, but... Again, if the default is just a dash back laser, I think we're just missing a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so I thought this went a lot better. So, like, you dash dance, you didn't see what you wanted, and then you lasered in place instead, right?
Mhm.
And this is a much better situation. Like, ideally, the laser would be a bit higher.
Yeah.
But you see how, like, this is a much more controlled situation, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
And then, this can just be, like, dash dance grab, backflip back air.
Mhm.
So yeah, so down air specifically here isn't... It's alright, but now that you know how little lag the aerial has, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty clear that, like, this has a much less chance to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just shoot the laser, backflip back air here. Not
Okay.
much Peach can do particularly.
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah, I think this is going pretty well so far, honestly. Just a few, like, mess ups. Yep. Nice full hop. Yeah, and then I think the default should always be the side platform here. Again, like, if you can get
Okay.
up to here,
Yeah.
this is suddenly way less threatening, right? Like this full hop, like turnip throw. But when you're in the
Mhm.
corner and this hits, this is terrifying, right?
Yeah.
But if you're already up here and you've escaped, like, you're pretty safe, right? And you can
Mhm.
always go from the platform and go down and then shoot the laser if you need to, right? Whereas it's a lot harder to go up
Mhm.
and then shoot,
Yeah. So
Um,
so if I'm in this position, I see the turnip pool, I should just go to the
well,
side
I'm
platform.
saying like before the turnip pull even. So like
Oh.
you
Okay.
jumped away here, and then
Yeah.
as soon as you do that jump away, I'd be jumping up here.
Mhm.
Again, unless you think they're gonna do, like, you want to take a bit of a risk and call them out for jumping up here or
Mhm.
running forward or something. I think the default should just be go up here, shoot a laser, play
Yeah.
from there.
Okay.
Because you can see how with this one, like, you would have just lasered him out of the float, right?
Yeah.
And then you're in a really good situation. And this is the one where he's at 0 and he's quite high up, right? So you could even down air if you want to from the platform.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think just a random thing, and I think this is probably help you in the Ditto as well, is just being more practicing the execution on like dash back high lasers more.
Okay.
So like here, for example, this whiffs
Yeah.
because of the laser height, right?
Mhm.
And it sort of like screws up your next action in some ways because you're not sure whether this laser is going to hit a jump or not, right?
Mhm.
Whereas I think if you very clearly shoot high, then you know that like if they jump, they will get hit by it.
Yeah.
Um, and I think it just makes situations a bit more clearer when you shoot the right height.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, here I would just hold shield, honestly.
Hmm.
Um, have you heard about like what sort of frame advantage Peach gets on shield and stuff with like float aerials? Or
Not really.
No. Okay, so she's pretty. Um, the average Peach is going to do an aerial that's probably like -1 0 or like +1.
Okay.
So trying to shine out of shield, it doesn't usually go that well, especially
Hmm.
because look how she's spaced, right? So the shine probably
Yeah.
won't hit, whereas down
Hmm.
smash will hit. Um,
Okay.
so especially when their back's turn, I'd say the default is usually just to hold shield, wait for
Hmm.
the down smash or whatever, and then punish out shield.
Okay.
I doubt Uo is going to do float back air turnaround grab here.
No, that would be insane.
Yeah, he might do like float back air, which fair enough. But just don't get hit by like the really easy shield pressure, right? Which is
Yeah.
just back air down smash.
Yeah, makes sense.
Um, yeah, similar thing, just with dash back laser, just like your decision after it, right?
Hmm.
So I think here back air could be good. Dashing away is decent.
Yeah.
But again, if you shoot a high one here, then maybe this clips her, and she's in a much
Hmm.
worse spot, right? Um, yeah, pretty general floaty thing, but like you can never punish like if they do like drift away aerial.
Okay.
Like this is for like Samus, Peach, Puff. You can
Hmm.
occasionally like wave dash off and then back air or something, but your back has to be turned for that, right?
Yeah.
You can't like short hop off and chase them because they have more horizontal drift
Hmm.
than you do, right? Whereas yours is quite small. So you're looking more for battles where it's like vertical to vertical rather than
Yeah.
horizontal to horizontal. Like this is what they want.
Okay.
So I would just shield this and then wave dash out of shield. You could full hop. You could short hop,
Hmm.
laser. Really up to
Yeah.
you. Just don't jump forward into this,
Okay.
because it just
That makes
puts you in
sense.
a very precarious spot here, right?
Hmm.
You're forced to roll, and then luckily you get to platform after, which is pretty good. Yep, so this is great. And then from here, this is where I probably shoot a short hop laser, right?
Yeah.
You shoot the laser, he drops down, and then that's when you can jump over if you want, or you could drop
Hmm.
down and try to hit him. Again, the laser height messes you up a lot here, and then you get fed,
Yep.
right? So I think you're making a lot of good decisions. Like in both the Falco and the Peach game, it's just sort of the execution that's going along with it.
Hmm.
In terms of like either assessing the situation properly or like how you did something like a laser height, for example.
Yeah.
Because like that laser's amazing. If you hit him out of the float
Hmm.
and then you shoot the second one, he's on the ground and then he gets play mix up, right?
Yeah.
But if it doesn't hit, then it's terrible, right?
When are you assessing? Oh, obviously, you're trying to assess the situation after every laser,
Yeah.
but like, it is where else are you trying to like sort of take the moment to like assess it, like the situation? Because I don't, because I feel like in that situation, like she feels so close that it's sort of harder, as well to
Yeah.
assess. Because so if I like shoot the right height, I guess I just got to assume that the situation that's like an execution thing rather than like an assessing the situation thing. But like outside of just like shooting the laser and then reacting, what other situation should I be trying to sort of like um hard like reacting?
Yeah, I think just like anytime you're like quite far from your opponent, so like
Okay.
here for example, and also when it's a spot where like um there's a like I feel like Peach only has a couple of things she's going to do here, right? Like she's either
Yeah.
going to run at you, she's going to try and
Mhm.
jump,
Yeah.
she might try and like pull a turnip or something. So like
Mhm.
there's only a couple of things to really account for here.
Yeah.
Um so it's just about having a planned response to each of them.
Okay.
Um so like, you know, if you see her jump here and you were going to shoot this laser anyway, you need to think like it's time to play the situation where I laser her out of the
Okay.
jump,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But I think again it's just because you're messing up the execution sometimes. I think it's sort of like clouding that a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, like I doubt in the moment, like just seeing your reaction to that, you were like, "Oh, this happened because I shot the wrong laser height, and that made me what's it called?
Yeah.
Misassess the situation, right?"
Mhm.
Nice. So this is great. So yeah, laser, laser, jump off laser. This is great. And then here, I think you just want to stay here.
Okay.
Honestly,
Not even like dash under her. Just like.
you could if you want to, yeah. But I think this is also a really good spot. You could turn your
Okay.
back, look for
Mhm.
back air, look for up tilt. You could dash dance like you say to try and get under her. Short
Mhm.
up air. Yuo's probably gonna either down smash or like jump
Yeah.
off and try to do an aerial. So I think dash
Okay.
dancing is pretty decent. Yep. Um, but yeah, by dashing back, you sort of give up all of that, and then it puts you in a worse spot, right?
Mhm. I think in some situations I feel like I'm treating Peach like other characters. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I'm expecting like a shield drop, something, and trying to catch that. Like
yeah. But I mean, I think even if you were trying to catch that, you wouldn't want to back up all that way with a laser, right?
sure.
You'd maybe
Mhm.
want to back up a little bit more. Um, so yeah, I think just the I guess the recurring theme is just you're setting up lots of really good situations, but then you're sort of chickening out of them. I guess is the way
Yeah.
to put
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
with a
Mhm.
laser. But it's like you've already done the hard work with the lasers to sort of set up the good situations, right? And then
Yeah.
it's once you get close that you need to be sort of playing the actual mix-ups, like we were saying last time with the Ditto, right?
Mhm.
Um, because if anything, you're actually just setting up worse situations for yourself by running away here, you know? Because like this isn't very
Yeah.
good to be in, right?
Mhm.
Let's roll. Yep, so this is another one. So again, anytime you do a laser on the ground, you
Mhm.
always need to be ready for the fact that she could jump over it.
Yeah.
And so pick an option that covers that as well, right? So dash
Okay.
dance, jump to the platform,
Mhm.
running under her potentially. Um, because the sort of like the worst thing you can do here is shoot again, because the
Mhm.
first one hasn't stopped her, right?
Yeah.
It's like I don't think you'd shoot this laser versus Fox either, right? Because Fox is just gonna full hop near you
Definitely.
or something.
Mhm.
So it's sort of a similar thing. Um,
I think I'm pretty bad in general at like reacting that the laser missed. But
yeah, it's I mean, it's not reacting to the laser missing. It's more like
okay. Just choosing another option that covers both.
yeah. So like here, you essentially need to think like you know I'm shooting this laser. You're shooting this laser anyway, right?
Mhm.
So the two things that can happen here are either it hits or it doesn't.
Mhm.
And you have to ask yourself like how likely is it that this laser is actually going to hit,
Yeah.
right? Um, and I feel like it depends on the player, obviously. You know, some people like to play very, very grounded, and so it's probably got a very high chance to hit. But
Mhm.
most Peach players want to jump and set up that flow height, right?
Yeah.
So this probably has a pretty low chance to hit. And that's not a bad thing because it is forcing him to jump.
Mhm.
But it's just you then need to also account for like what if the laser doesn't hit? And I feel
Yeah.
like at the moment you're only really accounting for what if the laser does hit.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, so like something you might do versus Fox here if you're going to shoot this laser is like laser, and then turn your back, right? Because if they full
Yeah.
hop at you, you get to up tilt it, you know.
Mhm.
Um, and that's sort of an example of sort of like doing coverage where like either the laser catches them dashing on the ground, or you're
Yeah.
protecting yourself in the event that they jump over it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, that's the key. Is like you can't really react to it happening.
Okay.
Like you can't be like, oh, she jumped over it. Let me do something else now, because she's already floating in your face, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You just need to be ready for the fact that they could jump over this and pick a decision that sort of puts you out of the way of this as well. So again,
Mhm.
dash back, dash forward, full hop, turn your back.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
and all of those are still decent if she does take the laser on the ground, you know.
Mhm.
Oh, I think just stay under the platform here.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna down smash, right?
Yeah.
And then you get to just full hop, shine, up tilt,
Mhm.
whatever. And it's not like Peach can really like drop through the platform and hit you here, really. Like she can, but most people don't.
Okay.
And as soon as you see the fair up here, like she can't also, right? Because she can't fall through the platform with this fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, you can get up tilt there if you stand under the platform, right? Because it's like the raised part.
Mhm.
So yeah, again, shooting laser, and then again, you're sort of like jumping forward as if that first laser hit, right?
Yeah.
But because it doesn't, it puts you in a really weird spot. Um,
Mhm.
it happens a lot versus Puff actually as well. Versus good Puff players, they'll try
Yeah.
to like jump around lasers a lot more or like duck
Mhm.
under them. Yeah, it's just something you need to just like take that extra step.
Is it like the same with like Sheik players as well?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
think?
I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much. I think anyone that's playing the Falco matchup well is doing a lot of this,
Okay.
preemptively jumping over and ducking under lasers
Mhm.
to put themselves in like annoying positions. Nice roll. Um, yeah, I think the default in the scrap, like, do you feel good about punishing Peach down smash on shield or
Not like particularly. I don't know why. I think it's because it lasts longer than like. I'm not sure because I feel comfortable punishing like up smash on shield like from Fox,
not?
but so it feels like it should be a similar thing, but I don't feel that comfortable. I don't know why. I just need to practice it, I
Yeah,
guess.
I would definitely practice it because I think that should be like your main go-to in scraps. Versus a lot
Mhm.
of Peach players is just hold shield in a spot like this.
Okay.
Um,
It feels kind of scary because just what if they just grab me? You
yeah,
know?
I mean I get that, but there's also a lot of things that like I feel like grab is the only real like hard call out they have to the shield, right? Whereas the shield is
Mhm.
gonna beat them, or not beat them, but keep you safe versus them doing like down smash, dash attack, float
Yeah.
aerials, you know. And
I
I
guess
feel
I shouldn't worry about grab once they start presenting it like consistently.
exactly, yeah, and I feel like not many people are going to clank with dash attack and then grab, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel
True.
like they're gonna press down on the C stick.
Mhm.
Nice.
I don't know what Yu starts doing. I feel like he starts trying to like stunt, but I don't know
No,
why.
no, this is just what he does.
Okay.
He's just getting desperate for a reversal. A lot of Peach players do this.
Okay. Because I was getting like a little bit tilted because I was like, why are you trying to stunt with last stock?
No,
Like,
no, no, no. They're literally all floaty players do this. They're just like mashing attacks and hoping that they'll get like a trade with you.
okay.
Like jump into your attack, jump into your attack, jump into your attack, down smash, jump into your attack.
Yep.
Jump into your attack. And that's finally a good air dodge, but you know, he took 100 from just trying to force it, you know?
I was really annoyed that I did that there because I feel like I should have just played this like stood like on stage and turned my back and did the whole flowchart, but I just so badly wanted to end the game.
Yeah. No, you had it.
Yeah.
Again, there's just lots of spots where, like, you know, just do a second back air, right? And it'll probably hit them trying to do something.
Yeah.
If you're not confident, punishing out of shield also, light shielding can also be really good here, so it doesn't poke you.
Okay. Yeah.
Might have been able to up smash here, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think punishing Peach players for this is pretty important as well. So you see how he does like double jump, float?
Mhm.
Like, if you just don't get hit by the downer, it puts him in an awful spot, right? Because he's used up all his resources. So if you just let him do it and then do like the back air or the up air or whatever.
Okay.
Just roll. Nice, that was really good. But then you did the downer at the wrong percent. You see how like you lasered, then you jumped over, got out of the way of the power shield, and it put you in a good spot versus this, right? Like, that was really good.
Okay.
Perfect. And then yeah, it was just the wrong set for that.
Yep.
But this is one where like if you nared off, right?
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I think it knocks down like maybe 2% later or something.
Oh really?
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really close to knocking down.
I think I might afford it knocked down, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wasn't sure whether to forward smash here, like when I watched back the set, like on this platform tech chase, because I felt like the percent means that like he's not gonna die, but it could set up a good position, or I was like, I don't know what to do to keep it going, to sort of set up an even better position, you know?
Yeah, so I actually feel like you probably get a kill here if you full hop shine.
Okay.
If you full hop shine this side, turn around waveland this way, then you can chase like all of the different DIs you can do here, right? So it's either like that or that. Because you have the platform to run along.
Yeah.
And if he DIs this way, you just jump straight up, right?
Okay.
But yeah, if you are going to go for the down air here, forward smash. I'd say the best thing you can do is either forward smash or try and like wave dash and then up tilt if you think they'll DI in.
Okay.
You'll get up tilt shine, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Or you could run off shine.
Yeah.
Another option.
The frenzy.
Yep. But yeah, if you're trying to react here, then yeah, I'd say forward smash probably the easiest, or down smash.
Okay.
I think you just kind of threw,
Yep, I definitely did.
Yeah.
I think I was still a little bit tilted from the end of the last game. I went for it.
Yeah, you're just I think you're trying to react to how many hits hit you and then go. And you need to sort of like know that it's only really gonna hit like twice here a lot of the time.
Okay.
Because you see how like the third one she's pushed so far. that
Mhm.
it doesn't hit, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And you also notice like a lot of the time he's like preemptively jumping towards you, right?
Mhm.
Because you're trying to back up here with a laser, right? Which is a good default. So you can just sometimes throw in here, just like nair at him, throw out a back air, turn your
Yeah.
back up tilt,
Okay.
jump shine. You know, there's a lot of things you can do to sort of like keep him honest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to what we said before.
Mhm.
Generally, with full hop turnip throw as well, you want to try and move under her rather than move back, just
Okay.
because you want to move under the arc of the turnip, whereas you can't
Yeah.
really move back away from this, right?
Mhm.
Shielding it then rolling could be decent as well. I'm not sure if this hits your roll. I think it just poked you actually.
Yeah.
I think if possible, you want to try and shine on, hit with the left side of the shine rather than the right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, just so you have the platform to run along, right? Whereas here you don't. And then here also, I feel like full hop shine most of the time gets you a kill because they're DIing in.
Mhm.
So there's always, well, there's not always, but there's usually a mix up between like strong bearing them here and going for full hop shine, and most people DI in. So
Okay.
yeah, again, just going up a bit too early here. So they if you watch from Peach's perspective here,
Mhm.
look at the height she's double jumping to, right?
Yeah.
You can see how it's like just above Falco's like full hop range.
Mhm.
So like he's intentionally putting himself up there to sort of bait you into jumping up to hit them.
Yeah.
So yeah, just don't take the bait. Wait a bit longer,
Okay.
and then it becomes a much better situation.
Mhm.
Nice roll.
It's definitely not on purpose. No, definitely an accident. That yeah. If I just need to do 2 bears on
Yeah,
the
yeah, and you
like
get hit by
3 times.
everyone, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so this one was fine to go for.
Mhm.
It's just a bit wonky because of where you land, so I actually like that you didn't shine here.
Okay.
But then you just need to be ready to shine out shield rather than
Down.
thingy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, just another laser height situation again here, right?
Mhm. Yeah, it's always the dashback lasers as
Yeah.
well. I guess I just practice dashback high laser.
Flashback high laser, yeah. Because I mean, it's especially important. Like, it's not. I mean, it's getting you killed versus Peach as well, but especially versus like Falcon, I could see you getting nared or need for it.
I do because
Yeah.
the amount of times I do think you said before that like it probably like clouds it, but versus Falcon, like I'm like they shouldn't have got that opening. I just messed up my laser height.
Yeah, yeah. But it's the exact same thing versus Peach, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But with this one, it's just because the first one hit her out of the jump, so most Peaches just float immediately. So you need to shoot the same height again to catch the float.
Yeah.
I think if you cross up here, maybe I kill.
Okay.
Kinda hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't know why I was pretty certain it would kill, but
Okay. I was like, this doesn't. I was like, you need to get a DI mix up here to kill.
okay.
Was my sort of like intuition here. But also, this is an amazing percent if you wanted to downer again after, because then you just get downer up tilt and then a shine, right?
Okay.
So that can also be useful if you're not sure.
Mhm.
Um,
I've given up on the dash dance strategy at this point.
yeah, and now you're getting blended.
Yeah.
Nice. Respawn's gone pretty well, honestly, which has been good.
Mhm.
Okay, just jumping at the wrong points. And then, yeah, again, just dash away here, look for back air, right? Look at the angle and the height he's floating at, right?
Mhm. I hate that he goes for the up smash.
Yeah.
It actually tells me so.
I mean, if he wants to give you a free win, then...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually thought that was decent. Like, I know you're probably a bit annoyed that, you didn't take a game or whatever, but
Yeah.
I think there's like 2 or 3 things you fix there, and then you win the set.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it definitely seems that way. Like from watching it, it's like the key things, like the laser, like having a good option if the laser misses, like doing a good option that covers both,
Yeah.
and then like the shield stuff, like don't like back away with laser, and also
Yeah.
just like don't back away with laser in general. When in a good situation, these are like the 3 key things, right?
Yeah, and just using the platform as like a place to reset the
Okay.
side
Yeah.
platform,
Mhm.
instead of always playing it on the ground. But yeah, I'd say that's the main things, and that was probably like 90% of the openings he got, right?
Yeah.
Was those 3 or 4 situations.
Mhm. Okay. Makes sense.
Cool.
Well, yeah, that's good. Thank you
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much.
No problem. I mean, I'm down to play some if you want, like, off of Metafy coaching, whatever. Like, I'm down to just play friendlies if you want to
Yeah,
try
sure.
and work on some of that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Let me, I'll end the recording quickly.